What's up everyone and welcome back to another video. So as you guys probably know, having insane aim in Fortnite is one of the most important skills you can have. When it comes to winning fights and just improving as a player overall, your aim is one of the most fundamental aspects of all that, because it doesn't matter how good you can build or edit, it doesn't matter how good your piece control is, if you're not able to hit that shot and secure the kill, then none of that matters. So in today's video guys, what we're going to be doing is we'll be talking about how to improve your aim dramatically in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 4. I'll be going over a bunch of the best aim trainers and best methods you can use to improve your aim super quickly, and hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a great idea as to how you can do that. If you go on to enjoy this video or if you find it helpful, then be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new and want to see more, and as always, it's super appreciated if you could use code Teckoh in the item shop. It only takes a couple seconds to type in and it seriously does help me out a bunch. As always, a giant thank you to everyone who uses it. Well, with all that said and without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So getting into today's video, and the first aim trainer I want to talk about is going to be Raider's aim training map. Raider's aim training map is one of the most popular and useful maps for improving your aim. One of the biggest benefits of this particular map is how it's entirely single player. A lot of aim training maps nowadays, especially the aim duel style maps where you're up against another player, they require you to find another teammate to go with, or they require you to go into matchmaking, and honestly it's a bit of a hassle. But this map actually uses bots that simulate how real players move, but you don't have to take the time to actually find someone like you would in a traditional aim duel map, and that does save a bunch of time and it makes things just a lot easier. Plus you don't have to argue with someone over what scenario you're doing or anything like that. It seriously is a big help. Now as you can see on screen, the map has a ton of different scenarios ranging from straight up aim duels to various target scenarios, gliders, flick shots, and much more. The map has a really good variety. It has about 20 scenarios in total and should cover just about every area of your aim all in one huge map. So overall, this is one of the maps that I would definitely recommend you start using when it comes to your routine. I'll go ahead and put the code up on screen right now. Getting into our second map for this video though, and this one is going to be a bit of a surprise because it's not a traditional aim training map in the sense that you're like shooting at targets and other people and whatnot, but it's actually going to be a Turtle Wars map, specifically Martoz's Turtle Wars map. One of the most important things you can do to improve your aim in Fortnite is to use it in fights, and one of the best ways to do this is through Turtle Wars. Turtle Wars, if you don't already know, it's basically a big free-for-all with a bunch of players, but it's within a closed box rather than in the open. What this does is it forces you into a lot of close-range fights very fast, and it requires you to hit big shots in order to get the kills. So essentially it's like a giant box fight against a ton of people, and you're able to practice your aim constantly and work on your shots. Another benefit of this map is you do get restored to 200 HP every time you get a kill, and that means the third parties really aren't much of an issue because they can't really do much. Once you get a kill, you're back to 200 HP and you're ready to fight again. So what I recommend doing specifically is to hop in here and fight like you normally would, but you want to specifically focus on your aim. Take some extra time to line up your shots and try to go for headshots whenever possible. This is going to help you to build good muscle memory within fights and develop good habits when it comes to your aim, which is going to make you hit way more big shots in actual fights. Really, the biggest thing here is just building those habits and being able to line up that headshot and take that extra quarter of a second to make sure that you hit it. That's what I call trigger control, and that's something that a lot of players don't have nowadays. A lot of people just flick as fast as they can and they go for the shot as quick as they can. But really, when it comes to a close range fight where you're in that situation, you're up against your opponent right in their face, if you go for that big shotgun shot and you miss that shot, then you're probably going to lose the fight. And that skill is something that I definitely find a lot of people need to work on, and this Turtle Wars map should help a ton with that. So with that said, I'll go ahead and put up the code on screen right now. And getting into our third map for this video, and this one is going to be one of the OG aim training maps in Fortnite and a great aim trainer overall, which is Scavic's aim trainer. Much like Raider's map, this has a ton of different scenarios with a variety of different weapons, and it has a couple of additional scenarios like peek practice, side jumps, and other stuff like that that helps you in slightly more specific situations. In very many ways, the Scavic aim trainer is very similar to Raiders. The biggest difference is just that they both have different scenarios from one another. Once again, it's a single player map, so you don't have to worry about other people arguing about what scenario to do or anything like that. So I definitely recommend you add this one into the mix as well because it offers some great variety and it's super well made. Mixing this map with the other two should be absolutely insane for improving your aim, so definitely give that a shot, and I'll go ahead and put up the code on screen right now to it. Overall, that's going to be it for our actual creative maps for this video. Those are 3 maps, but they should pretty much cover everything you need from close range to mid range to long range. ARs, SMGs, shotguns, whatever you could need, it's basically all going to be there. And getting into our next section, the next thing I want to talk about real quick is going to be external aim trainers. As you may or may not know, many external aim trainers outside of Fortnite exist for keyboard and mouse players and can be another great way to improve your aim. Some of these apps include Aim Labs, Aim Beast, and the most popular one tends to be Kovacs. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth on these today since I do want to make this video apply to everyone, and these are only for computer players, but I do have plenty of videos about the best Kovacs routines, and I do have an Aim Beast routine as well if you guys want to check those out. Whether you use external aim trainers is really going to depend on your own preference because they do offer more customization and less lag, and they generally offer a variety of scenarios that's a little bit larger than the ones in game, but a lot of them do cost money. In fact, I'm pretty sure all the major ones do, and it is a bit inconvenient to open an entirely different app for your aim practice practice, but whether you use them is totally down to your own preference and choice. So if you're on PC, then feel free to give them a shot, or you can just use the regular aim trainers in game because those are free and they're super easy to access. Once again, totally your choice. Getting into the next part of today's video though, and these are just going to be some bonus tips I want to cover when it comes to improving your aim. We've already gone over all of our creative maps and our external aim trainers, so the rest of this video is basically going to be about different tips that you can use to optimize your aim training and improve the fastest that you can. It's definitely important stuff, so be sure to stick around. And my first tip for this section is going to be to make sure you find an ideal sensitivity. Your sensitivity is really important when it comes to aim, as you would expect, and you want to find one that allows you to build and edit at a good pace while also maintaining good aim from all ranges. This may take a while to find, but it's super important. Most people find that a good sensitivity is usually found by simply taking some time in creative, going up and down as you see fit, and eventually you just want to settle on one that feels good for all areas of your gameplay. It's basically just constant trial and error. So for the majority of you guys, that should be the way to do it. But if you need extra help with this, or you find that the trial and error method simply doesn't work for you, then I do have a whole bunch of sensitivity videos that should be pretty helpful, so feel free to check those out as well. There are plenty of other methods like trying out pro sensitivities, or even the PSA method, which is a really popular one. So if you want to learn about any of those, and those sensitivity videos should be helpful for you guys. Getting into our next tip though, and this one is to aim train early in your routine and preferably during your warm-up. Let's be honest here, aim training is not a fun thing to do. Really, nobody's sitting there in the middle of their Fortnite section and being like, man, I want to go and aim train right now. It's pretty boring, it's pretty repetitive, but it is super important, and it's one of the best ways to improve at this game overall. And I really recommend when you're trying to aim train that you just get that done right at the start. Basically, before you even load into a ranked match or anything like that, I recommend you do your aim training routine all the way at the start and just get it over with. It's a super important thing to do, but it is pretty boring, so it's one of those things you just want to get done early and not have to worry about it. So once again, try to aim train early in your routine, and preferably do it during your warm-up so you don't have to worry about it. My next tip for this section is going to be how long to actually aim train, because this is a popular issue. Now, the amount of time I recommend you aim train for is going to depend on a couple of factors, such as how long you have to play, how advanced you are with your aim, and just how much you're able to tolerate. Honestly, I'd say for beginners, the average range is going to be about 10 to 15 minutes every time you play. For intermediate level players, especially if you have more time to play, I recommend doing about 15 to 25 minutes. And for those of you who are advanced in terms of aim training, or you just have a lot of time to aim train and you want to improve super fast, then something 30 minutes or above could totally be optimal for you guys. So overall, for beginners, about 10 to 15 minutes is ideal. Intermediate, probably about 20 to 25, and advanced is 30 plus. Once again, those are going to vary depending on the individual, but those are just some general ranges to start out with. You can either raise them or increase them depending on how you feel. Another tip for you guys, which I find super helpful, is when you're aim training, consider raising and lowering your sensitivity once in a while to practice different areas of your aim. What I mean is, while you're actually doing your aim training, literally like raise your sensitivity or lower it as you're actually doing it. Obviously, this is not a permanent thing. This is just something you're doing while you're practicing, but it does have some other benefits. Practicing a high sensitivity helps you improve your precision and control, and basically helps you to move your cursor slower and more precisely, while a lower sensitivity helps you to improve your large movements and flicks. This is especially helpful if you play keyboard and mouse, since mouse control is a huge factor. Now, of course, you want to spend the vast majority of your aim training time on your regular sensitivity, but this can be a fun thing to add in once in a while and can have some additional benefits. So definitely, if you're getting bored with your aim training or you want to try something new, consider raising or lowering your sensitivity during your session to see how that helps. And finally, guys, my last tip when it comes to aim training, and a very simple one, is just to stay consistent. One major issue when it comes to aim training in Fortnite is a lot of people, they start aim training, they get really excited about it, they do it for like an hour a day for a couple of days, and then they just stop. The problem is, a lot of people get really into it and they get burnt out because they're not consistent with it, and then they end up just having mediocre aim forever. So what I recommend you guys do is you want to set up some sort of schedule. That way it's super easy to stick to. Whether you want to do like X amount of minutes every single time you get on, or X amount of minutes 3 times a week, however you decide to approach it, basically set up a schedule. That way you know at least some idea of what you're going to do every time you hop on. It makes it much easier to stick to aim training, and really you won't get burnt out nearly as fast as some people do, and hopefully that helps you guys out. Well, with all that said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video on how to improve your aim super fast in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 4. Overall, by using all the maps and following all the tips in this video, you should see some dramatic improvements in your aim. If you found this video helpful, then be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more, and as always, it's super appreciated if you could use code Teckoh in the item shop. It's 100% free for you. It barely takes any time to type in, and it seriously does help me out an absolute ton. As always, a giant thank you to everyone who uses my code. You guys are awesome. And also, guys, let me know down in the comments what videos you guys want to see next on the channel. I'm trying to post pretty consistently this season. I know I haven't been too good about it recently, so let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments, and I might be able to make it happen. But with all that said, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.